afternoon, financial professionals. My name is Jennifer Nadeau, case design specialist here at E4 Insurance Services, welcoming you to the first brew of 2023, Brew Building Relationships Every Week. We are very happy to have the first brewcast of the year, and thank you for tuning in today. For those of you who are joining the brew for the first time, welcome. We like to start out the brewcast by celebrating what today's national day is. And January, the entire month of January, is National Financial Wellness Month, a good one. It's also National Trivia Day, National Spaghetti Day. It's Wednesday, yeah, Prince Spaghetti Day. And finally, it's also National Braille Day. On today's brew, we welcome E4 Insurance Services' very own managing partners, Dan Peterson and Brendon DeRouin. Today, Dan and Brendon will kick off our 2023 brew by sharing industry updates, E4 Insurance Services goals, and reflection on the last year for E4 Insurance Services. As always, please feel free to use that chat box to share your thoughts or ask questions. And all attendees are in a drawing for a prize, and we will announce the winner at the end of the call. Thank you for tuning in. Happy New Year, Dan and Brendon. What a great way to kick off the brew than with the two of you.
Happy New Year.
Happy New Year, Jennifer. Thank you for inviting us on today.
Awesome. Well, let's jump into it. 2022 was a very interesting year for all of us, for the industry in general. I think I'll start out with a question, and it's kind of the elephant in the room when you think back to 2022, especially towards the end of the year. The Fed undertook historic interest rate increases last year. So I would love to get your thoughts on that. Specifically, what did that do to the life annuity and LTC sleeves of the business, and what can we expect to see in 2023?
Well, Jennifer, we certainly had a year where inflation was at record highs. We haven't seen that kind of pressure in a long, long time, and it did move the interest rate market. Today we have an inverted yield curve where the short-term yields are higher than the long-term yields. That's impacting the bond market as well, which is what most of our carriers do invest in. But when you think about 2022, the products we sell, A, you have mortality, and B, you have interest that's earned on the reserves that the insurance companies keep to back the claim paying ability of the company. And so we did have a positive year from a mortality standpoint for the most part. We're seeing that there is some misconceptions that based on COVID or based on other things that the price of life insurance has gone up. We still see carriers reducing overall term insurance rates. The biggest challenges we're seeing on the mortality side is the opioid crisis and what that's doing for early deaths of younger people. That's a concern. The other thing that the carriers are wrestling with is suicides, which is correlating increased suicide rates with when you consider the depression and the lockdowns and the drug or alcohol abuse and all that comes with depression, and then how that can lead to anyone's life. So that's impacted the mortality side, but still, all in all, on newly underwritten business, it's very positive in that trend. The second thing is the interest rates. As starting about the middle of the year, we started seeing increases in interest rates, and actually as we got into September, we saw a huge increase in the amount of annuity business that we were receiving, mainly due to the fact that it's for the first time in almost 20 years we had interest rates that were above 5%. that
Right.
people could lock in.
Mhm.
And that's, we tell our team, look at the 10-year treasury, because most of the corporate financial bonds that insurance companies buy are priced off of that 10-year treasury rate. And we did see that 10-year treasury get above 4, even up to 4.25. So that's been something that we've been watching, and that's also positively impacted the life insurance carriers from a reserve perspective. Many of them have guaranteed interest rates that were at 4% on some of the older blocks of business. So for them to be able to invest at a higher rate has been helpful and helping them in the profit sector. So that's some of the things that we've seen tied to interest rates.
Excellent. Thank you for that. And yeah, the treasury rates, I think it's been a long time since we've seen a rate like that with the 10-year treasury.
Yeah, we had a little glip back in 2008 when the sky was falling in the financial crisis and no one knew where we were going to go. But that was a very small blip at that point. But it's really, you have to go back almost to 2003,
Yeah.
2004 before you saw rates of this safe money rates that are above 5%. That was and people jumped at it, and we instantly had $25 million of pending business as we saw that happening. So
yeah, record growth there. That's incredible. Next question. Aggregation. It continued to be a big story in 2022. And I know for sure at E4, we focus on creating culture and business, and we are continuing to grow. And it's very exciting to be a part of that. What are our long-term plans as far as that's concerned?
Well, Jen, I'll take this one for now.
Mhm.
I would say with any change, there's opportunity. I mean, I look at more from a competitive standpoint, all of this acquisition out there of our competitors to be an opportunity for us. As some of those owners of business get their earnouts and exit out. This is still fundamentally a relationship business, and we believe in having those relationships. And as some of the previous owners retire and go into the sunset, it's just going to provide more opportunity for us to to build those relationships. This is a scale business, and there are some uh organizations that are just merging for scale, and truth be told, that's part of the reason why Dan and I merged 3 years ago, which has been a tremendous success. But with that scale brings opportunities. We've been able to hire a larger team. We've been able to invest in technology that we haven't had the ability or couldn't afford as individual firms. But we're really looking for organic growth. I mean, when you look at our recap of 2022 and some of the numbers that we've done, that's where we're looking to get our growth and get scale. For the most part, is from all of the advisors that are on this call and help support us. And we wouldn't have been able to do near the growth that we did if it wasn't for the quality of our team and the individuals that we work with.
Yes.
Dan, I don't know if you have anything to add on that.
yeah, I think we've certainly seen the private equity money go after, and the aggregators right now. Private equity does not want to run the insurance business long term, so they're going to look to monetize their investment at some point. Our concern is, what does that do for the advisor experience that in working with a call center, a big scale or designed organization? We think that there's flexibility, there's a better advisor experience in us staying independent, and that's really part of our long-term goal, is to remain independent and continue to build the best brand possible that can create a consistent, positive advisor experience in every facet of the business process. So that's what we're focused on.
Excellent. And again, I'm so happy to be a part of that. And as both of you were speaking, I was reminded about a previous brew that we had done with John Jacobs, and he kind of talked about aggregation and that sort of thing too. So if anyone is interested in listening to that, I will promote our brew library in just a couple of minutes. Next question. And I'm thinking about December. I know that we have a very special event that we host in the month of December called the Inner Circle, and we're just coming off of that probably about a month ago, I think. Any takeaways that you can share from that meeting that was held a few weeks ago?
Well, we're really thankful to be able to host that. It was in Seattle this year. Symetra, Prudential, Principal, and Allianz were all sponsors of that meeting. Symetra personally hosted it with their headquarters being in Seattle, and we even got to go over to an NHL hockey game, the Kraken playing Montreal Canadiens, and
Awesome.
got to watch that in their suite. So that was fun. But it's really designed, Jennifer, as a study group and we invite our top 10 advisors to come in and actually talk about best practices, look at what each of them are doing. They made presentations to each other and really brought their skill sets to the table in a great format. And I know it's something that Brendon's been doing for years, even before our firms merged. And Brendon, do you have something to add on that?
Yeah, on that study group, I'm a firm believer, and I think we bring value to the table every day. But I also believe advisors learn best from each other. They're out there in the trenches. They have no hidden objective. They're just explaining what they do, how they do it, and how they're successful. And I had a follow-up meeting with Chris Henderson, and he shared with me a takeaway that he and his team had gotten from one of the other advisors that is going to add $50,000 to $60,000 of net profit to their bottom line from a tip that he picked up from another advisor there. It actually had nothing to do with insurance, but you get, these top individuals in a room and they share practices. And he said, sometimes I get, some grief. Is this time well spent? Is it just a boondoggle? Should you invest that time to go out there? And he's, had a great takeaway and said, this is something that other firms don't do. And, just helps align our loyalty with theirs. So, I encourage everybody, on this call and watching this later, try to be in the top 10, learn from some of the best. It's not the only event we do. We also have, our BBT, Building Business Together, where we invite everybody, and you can still learn a ton, but that top 10 inner circle mentality just brings a lot to the table.
Yeah, nothing like getting a group of top industry professionals together and sharing ideas. And Brendon, you just mentioned BBT, Building Business Together. Actually, the last time I had the both of you on the brew, we had just finished that event. What are the plans for this year as far as BBT goes? And anyone can attend that, correct? It's not just the top 10.
Yep, anyone can attend that. We're doing it May the 4th. So May the 4th be with you. Last year we were Back to the Future themed. This year we might be a Star Wars theme or something in honor of Mr. Peterson's birthday, which happens to also align with that. But we're going to be at the Delafield Hotel in Delafield, Wisconsin. So that's almost halfway in between Madison and Milwaukee. And we are doing that right after NAFA Wisconsin's Power Sales Summit. So I would implore you all to come to both and get some great education all in one location.
We're going to have a really fun lineup of speakers and presentations. We even have an NFL official, I believe, on scheduled. So you get to hear some insights of what it's like to be running up and down the sideline, and hopefully what he can repeat that he hears out there. It's going to be quite interesting to do that. But that's a great day of learning for anybody to be invited. Come and enjoy, and you'll learn a lot.
Excellent. We are approaching 12:15. I want to ask you both a final question, including closing comments. That's my question, closing comments. But along with that, Brendon and Dan, what are each of you most proud of from last year?
Well, I would say, Jen, you joined our team last year. That was a pretty proud moment. Having left the carrier side, your whole career has been really on the insurance company side, and
Yes.
and you found that there is life outside of working for an insurance company, working for an agency and a growing team. As I talk to our team, what I'm most proud of is obviously the results that we've had this past year, and we couldn't do that without the great advisor relationships we have. But we wouldn't have the results either if we didn't have a great team. So we talk about at E4 that it's really with our staff and our associates, it's about them lending their talents and abilities to our firm. And for that, yes, they receive pay and they receive compensation and benefits, but they've received more than that. It's the opportunity to learn, to grow, to develop. And that's really a mentality that we try to drive. And that's resulted in some really awesome success stories this year. We're part of LIBRA. LIBRA is now going to be over 100 agencies. We're in the top 20 in life insurance production as a LIBRA firm. So across the country, LIBRA represents the largest amount of independent distribution and sales in the life insurance space. And last year was a tremendous year of growth. We saw our target life premium was up just shy of 25% year over last. We had our linked benefit, so long-term care linked benefit production was up 24% to over 10 million, and we saw our annuity business up 62% last year. So just a tremendous year of growth, and topped 115 million in 2022. So we've got continued plans for growth. You're going to see more of our team this year. Our RVP model of being in front of producers, that's going to be a big part of it, and then enhancing our relationships with the advisors we work with, and working in everything we do to create a more consistent, positive advisor experience. So that's what I would think of.
Yeah, I would reiterate a lot of what Dan said. I'm just amazed at our growth last year, both in production and our team. I never thought that we would have, so many employees aligned with E4. I mean, partly because I'm bad at names, and keeping them straight is hard. It helps when on Zoom meetings and everybody's got a little name underneath them. So this work from home and digital work has helped. So we've been able to expand because I can read. But I would say, kidding aside, what I'm really most proud about is, in line with those numbers, we've put in over 1.1 billion with a B amount of death benefit in place, and that really provides coverage to protect families and businesses, wealth transfer. I mean, that is a life-changing number. I mean, even down to the individual policy. I do believe in what we do makes a difference. I'm passionate about our product, and when you can say that you've protected over $1 billion of people's life value, that's I'm just proud of that.
Yeah, absolutely. Definitely something to be proud of. And I'm proud of being a part of E4 too. Let us open it up for questions now. But while we're waiting to see if there's any final questions, I'd like to remind you that today's brew and our full library, which I referenced before, is recorded and shared on the Brew blog on our website at www.e4insurance. And let's do our giveaway as well. Either Dan or Brendon, pick a number between 1 and 20.
Brendon, I'll let you pick.
I pointed at you and I was on mute.
Oh,
I'll go with number 1 because nobody picks number 1, and
Number
number 1 is
one.
the best.
That's excellent. And that's Joshua Winters. So congratulations, Joshua. Be on the lookout for a complimentary CE voucher and Starbucks gift card that will be coming your way from all of us here at E4 Insurance Services. Congratulations, Joshua. I'm looking in the chat box right now to see if there are any questions. And I don't have a question, but I do have a comment that I don't think everyone can see. Michelle Leaning from Libra has joined us on the call today, and she wrote a very nice comment. She said, Libra is so proud of our growth and congratulations. And we certainly really value, I know I do, and what I do at E4 really value the support that we have at Libra as well. So thank you, Michelle, for that. I'm not seeing any other questions, but I'll pause for a moment.
Well, I will recap that we cannot exceed our 2022 goals and hit our 2023 goals without all of you. So let's make this the best 2023 that we can, and let's crush 1.1 billion, make it 1.5 or something close to that. We don't actually have death benefit goals, but
well, you said it, so now it's it's out there and it'll be on YouTube. So.
yeah, and that's the 4th straight year of growth of our life insurance sales. So we're seeing an average growth rate of just about 14% per year in death benefits. So we'd like to see that happen again, and we really value the relationships that we have with the financial professionals who make that possible.
100%. Thank you, Dan and Brendon, for being on today. Loved having you on, and great conversation. So thank you.
Thank you.
Thanks, Jen.
Yep. And we'll wrap it up. Tune in next week as we welcome Linus Sudges from Advanced Underwriting Consultants as he discusses how to use the income tax return, it's that time of year, to better serve clients. Thank you, everyone, for joining us today. Congratulations, Joshua. And we will see you next week on The Brew. Have a great week, everyone.